It's here, the time I've been waiting for since the 20-something of June. The time has arrived. Dame Kristen joined me in the Pete the Planner World Virtual Headquarters. Kristen, what has arrived that I'm very excited about?
Your children aren't home all day anymore.
Well, spoken like someone who's not had their child yet, because nothing the 20-something of June in the state of Indiana says anything about them being in school. Dame, what is occurring this weekend that brings all the joy back into my heart?
State Fair.
Oh, boy. Hello. Nice to meet both of you. Hi, Damian. I'm Peter Dunn. And Crystal, I'm Peter Dunn. And youth soccer season begins anew tomorrow in Missouri. I will be driving my family to Missouri, crossing the mighty Mississippi.
There you go.
To watch boys kick balls against other boys in different colored shirts. And it's my favorite thing in the world. And I have no shame in that.
I know you well enough to know that you've scouted the weather. What's it look like?
92 degrees at game time, which is 4:40 local time at Creve Coeur Soccer Park, just on the other side of Creve Coeur Lake. And I will note that humidity is 55% at the time. So it'll be a pleasant 92. UV index still slated to be a 10. So at 4:40 p.m. So I will have a sun shirt on. Hello, Andy. Hello, Christine and Rev, Chris and Jen and Quincy and Jen. Oh, my God.
They're all here.
Oh, we have listeners?
I know.
Dame, our show today. Hello, Rick Swink, who definitely did what Damian did in today's show notes. Happy 2025-08-08. Thanks, Dame. You did the same thing.
It's great.
Today, we have an email from a listener who has been listening since episode 1.
That's wild.
Attack of the Clones. Kristen?
Star Wars?
Oh! I would have bet my entire wallet on the fact that you hadn't got that. Kristen, you were here at headquarters yesterday.
Indeed, I was.
Saw you in person, saw Margaret. Well, I mean, sort of a silhouette. I didn't really look at this. Let's move on. Anyway, Kristen, it was good to see you. I made a movie reference to you in a meeting, an actual real meeting, real discussion, real conversation. And you looked like my head had fallen off. Like you had no idea what I was talking about.
Well, I get it.
I don't remember what the reference was.
Wonderful.
Anyway, Dame, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Could be better.
Okay.
I was hanging out with a friend last night. No, seriously, I have a friend. And he's like, "How's your day?" And I was like, it was good. He's like, "So not good?" I was like, "Oh, not good. No, not good." No, it was well, I mean, you guys want to do a show?
Sure.
I feel like we should wait past the 5. Let's celebrate the 5-minute and 21-second mark coming up. And we're all going to be quiet and hear if we can hear the airlock hiss that always happens at 5:21. Dane, what's your current view on what it is?
Honestly, it has to be something in your setup that causes it. I don't know exactly what it is, but it feels like it has to originate in your audio interface or board or something like that.
Hello, Danza. Hello, Tom Ricks. Crystal, what do you think?
You're the common denominator. Like,
okay, well, I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to mute my board. It's coming in about 20 seconds. So
we're going to have dead air.
No. I mean, I'm going to mute it right before. Danza says it's a gremlin that someone fed after midnight. And Kristen doesn't understand. We got 5 seconds. Shh. I think it's me.
Oh, who would have guessed?
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing, guys. And I don't know if you guys know this. I have a liberal arts degree.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. From a prestigious small college on the banks of the Ohio River.
Is it prestigious? I mean, no offense to
I don't-
water, but is it?
In southern Indiana, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that was Kristen Wesson. Hey, the ladies of your money line threw Kristen a baby shower yesterday, Dame.
They did. It was so sweet.
Did you get a courtesy invite to that?
I think I got a courtesy invite, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I got the heads up from the boss that this was happening. And I said, "Oh, that'll be so fun. Can I?" She's like,
No.
just could be the girls. And I was like, "Okay. But it's okay. It's okay."
You should have had a competing event at the same time in your office.
I totally, Dame and I are going to have a shower for you on the air, Kristen.
Oh.
It's going to be fun.
That's, just the language around that is rough.
Oh,
We'll choose a baby party. No.
Which one?
Oh, babies. Can I tell you a story? I was at the gym this morning and I round the corner and I see a lady getting after it with some dumbbells. I look down and she's got about a 2-week-old baby in a stroller. And I was like, so much respect.
Holy smokes.
It was a pretty good baby, but it was one of those things I couldn't go up and tell her about her baby, like, I like your baby, because you can't say that to people.
No.
Like, Kristen, let me try a couple lines and we'll get started on the show. Let me try a couple lines of how you tell someone you like their baby. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go direct. I'm going to start with direct. Dame, you score these 1 to 10, 10 being the perfect way to do it. You are the control group here, and Kristen is the pregnant lady who is going to evaluate this. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Okay.
I like your baby. Kristen, what do you think about that?
I didn't care for that.
Dane, 1 to 10?
I mean, that's a 3.
Okay. Let me go one more. We got 2 more. We got 2 more. We just keep it mixed up. Okay. What a lovely child. Kristen?
The voice was better. The words were not.
Oh, Dame.
I'd go with a 6.
Okay, now I'm going to go real safe here. You ready?
Okay.
Hey, congratulations. Kristen?
I didn't mind that.
Oh, okay.
Are
Dane?
you talking about the set? Are you talking about the kid? It's too much left to be determined. It's not specific enough.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
if
So
it's
you
not
don't like
her
that one.
baby?
Oh,
Oh,
what
see,
if the
that's-
baby's-
And then you congratulated her and she's like, "Do I look like I just had a baby?"
Oh, gosh. It's awful.
Say nothing to strangers about babies.
How about just the head nod? Just the acknowledgement.
Yeah, that could be about anything.
Nod to her midsection.
Mm,
It's just-
how quickly you ruin it.
Okay, let's go. Oh, hi. This is a financial show.
oh, yeah.
I got to be honest. I forget that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, this is what keeps us different from all the other financial shows.
The good ones.
No, just the other ones.
Oh, I got to be ready. I'm not ready. I love today's question. I like it a lot. It's gutsy. I want this person to play the episode in front of everyone involved. How about we make that like a requirement for the person?
I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee that they're listening.
True.
That is true. The question is, are they listening live? I don't think so.
No.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show works. Email us at, what is it? askpete@petetheplanner.com. Ask Pete at petetheplanner.com. And we may read your question on the air and then spend an entire episode answering your question and arguably having a little fun. Joining me today, Kristen Elanius, all the way from Indiana. Kristen?
Hi, Pete.
And Damian Dunn from just south of Michigan. Hello, Dame.
Hello, Pete.
All right. I don't have the question pulled up. Nope, here it is. Dear Pete and experts. That is on the nose. Thought this might be a fun one for the certified financial planning practitioners in the room. My wife, 3 kids, and I live in Alabama. Okay, so far, Dame, we've got 5 people living in Alabama.
That's how math works. Yep.
We have an Alabama listener.
Wow.
We've finally met them.
I'm considering relocating for a job in the Midwest. Oh, my wife's parents currently live 3 miles from our home in Alabama. Dame, is it offensive that I'm saying Alabama?
I think it might be to some
It
people.
feels like it might be. I'm going to back that off.
Yeah.
They would be very sad if we left. Single income household, wife stays home, homeschools our kids. She says, if we move...
Time out.
All right.
I've not really read this question. Kristen, am I about to get into a marriage debate with 2 people?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Because I can't handle that today.
No.
I don't want to.
No, you will not be playing referee. No.
Oh, good. She says if we move, we just need to take her parents with us. Believe it or not, I'm not opposed to that idea. I like my in-laws. They are aging, which means, frankly, means they're not dead. You know what I mean? They're aging.
We're all aging.
We're all aging. And my wife helps them out quite a bit. They also like being close to our kids. Mm-hmm. The potential new job would pay about 40% more, but with higher mortgage rates and property taxes, we couldn't afford a large enough home on our own. By the way, living in a low-cost area is great until you consider leaving that area. A really nuanced point. Our property taxes would rise from about $1,500 a year to $7,000 American dollars per year.
Yeah.
Oh. So, contemplating consolidating 2 homes into one, how would you recommend we set up this arrangement financially? I want to be fair and reasonable. My wife has 2 siblings, and I would anticipate over-communicating the plans to them to try to avoid any perception of us taking advantage of their parents. Do the in-laws pay us rent? Do they contribute a sizable sum towards the down payment? How do we structure ownership? Perhaps we buy them out over time. I want to do what is right for the family and also keep it as clean as possible. Thanks for any ideas and tips. Sincerely, Hercules. Top 1% fan, a listener since episode number 1, which, Dame, that was a really long time ago.
It predates both Cricket and I.
Yeah, and I had hair. And yeah.
Did you, though?
All right, Kristen, what jumps out to you the most here?
Well, I have a few different thoughts, but the first thing that stood out to me, and Dame and I did a little bit of digging on this, is where in the Midwest are we moving that property taxes are so egregious? And we came to the conclusion that you have to be moving likely to Illinois, Nebraska, and what was the other one?
Michigan was in the top 10. It was Wisconsin, too.
Yes, Wisconsin was one of them.
Yeah. All 4 of those are top 10 property tax states in the U.S.
I feel it's egregious to call Nebraska the Midwest.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a debate. But
kind of a Great Plains situation, is it not?
I agree completely, but some people lump them in every once in a while.
Well, people are wrong. Okay, so Illinois, Wisconsin's, and Michigan. Those are the real choices here. Okay. Here's what I think about this. Number 1, if they have 3 siblings of these in-laws, right? The wife and the 2 people, my brain immediately goes to whatever has to happen in a thirds sort of thing. Does that make sense at all?
Thirds.
Can you explain that a little bit more for me?
So whatever financial commitment the in-laws make to this arrangement must be accounted for as a division of 3 in the end. To the emailer's point, to make everyone whole and equitable, like the math has to start by acknowledging that each of the 3 people will need to be equally, I don't want to say compensated, but made whole by 33%. That's sort of where it's a weird place to start. Clearly, I can't even communicate it, but that's what my dumb brain does this Friday morning.
So you're saying like the kids, the parents, and the in-laws are segmented here? Like
no, just the 3 kids, the wife and her 2 siblings, I think, are the most important part of this entire equation. Is where
okay.
He's talking about once the in-laws make the move, if they sell their house and put it into the new house, how do the other 2 kids of the wife get an equal share of the estate? I think is what you're saying.
Because my gut tells me the in-laws currently don't have a mortgage, right?
That would seem reasonable to me. Yeah.
So I'm going to make that assumption. So if they start paying rent, they're not currently paying rent because they own the home. So they would sell their home. They would have this chunk of equity. And now it would seem somewhat unfair for them to pay rent. No?
But so the alternative is that they go on the deed for the house?
I think the alternative is that they contribute. I love that I've just blown up the entire show plan. Have you guys also figured this out?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I think they simply contribute a portion of the value of the home, almost like an escrow, to the family in the form of a down payment. And then that percentage is subtracted from their estate and then divided amongst the other 2 siblings.
Okay. But what happens if the parents need long-term care and then the other siblings say, well, my inheritance went to long-term care and your inheritance went to the equity in your big house?
All that after the break, right here. Oh, we're not at. Dang it. I was hoping to think about that over the break. Okay, why don't you experts with actual letters behind your name tell me what we should really do here?
Damian?
Are you trying to wrap this up in one segment? Because it feels like you're trying to wrap this up in one segment.
No. I just like, where's your brain going, Dame?
I think it's important that you really consider the total cost, the true cost or benefit of the relocation first and foremost. 40% raise sounds great. Is it really worth moving if you're going to have to buy a bigger house, if you're going to have more expenses in the household on a month-to-month basis? What if that relationship doesn't work out and there has to be an exit strategy somehow to get the parents back to Alabama? There's a lot of consideration that has to happen. We don't even know if the in-laws are even down for this thing yet. Well, we're going to assume they are, but I think there's a lot of discussion that has to happen first if the cost makes sense to make the relocation.
All right, here's what we're going to do after the break. I'm not going to try to answer the question and ruin the show in one segment. Then we're going to pick what we think a salary might be in Alabama, increase it to see what it might be in the new state, so we can contextualize and quantitatively come up with an answer. All of that is next, and not on the outline here at the Pete the Planner Show. Let me go on record as to saying I am very sorry for what just happened.
Sorry.
Okay.
This portion of the program brought to you by Herculean Meal Prep, my favorite part of every day. And yes, I have a wife and kids. If you like convenience and you like modestly priced meals that are both delicious and absolutely nutritious, check out Herculean Prepared Meals. Special in-store promotion coming 8/18 through 8/31. Herculean will be participating in Devour Indie. They will offer 3 meals for just $20. I've done the math. Pretty great math, limited to 1 use per person. And you better believe I will be doing that. Current best-selling item at Herculean Meal Prep is broccoli cheddar chicken bake, and it is delicious. The chicken tastes like it was prepared by a Michelin star chef. It tastes good in my face. That's Herculean Meal Prep, frozen meals that you can have delivered to your home or just pick them up in the store and put them in your office freezer and be obnoxious when you eat them in front of all your coworkers, just like I do. That's Herculean Meal Prep.
Kristen, did he show you his Herculean meal yesterday?
Of course he did. He had to show me the box. Well, he had to tell me about it before he ate it.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I would offer you one, but I only have one left. And I said, you wouldn't even share with Margaret? And he said, And then he had to show me the container that it came in. And then he had to show me his lunch. So he really does.
Kristen, when I was down there, you got to come check this out. I mean, this is I think it was the cheesesteak one that they had at that time.
You guys do this. I'm going to go get the selection I have in the freezer. I'm going to show it to you guys.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Restocked because he ate them all yesterday.
And he opens the freezer and he goes, and I got something else and something else over there. And I just throw this in the microwave for about a minute. And he didn't offer me anything. He didn't offer a bite of the one that he had just warmed up and smelled delicious. He didn't say, hey, why don't you just grab one of those and try it for yourself? Even though I had just told him I was going to go to the location in Fort Wayne and maybe pick a few up to give him a try. No, there was no kind of just offering of, hey, try this deliciousness out.
He didn't offer to share with me either, to be clear. He said I would share, but I only have one left.
All right, here's what I restocked this morning for my home. I got smash burger bowl.
Sounds delicious.
I got buffalo chicken mac and cheese. I'll just tell you, my fingers is getting frostbit too because they froze. And for a limited time only, the Italian beef burger bowl.
Have you had are any of those new to you, or have you had all of those before?
No, these are, I brought the thunder today from home.
Show me the picture of that smash burger one again. That looked delicious.
It is delicious and nutritious. See?
Oh man, that looks good.
Anyway, I gotta go put these back in the freezer to maintain the sanctity of my lunch.
Yes, Jan, we are horrible at giving free ads to just whoever we're talking about and using and enjoying in our lives. Unfortunately, Herculean came through and said, "Hey, thanks for the effort, and we'll give you a little bit of a sponsorship." So, I mean, Kristen, who are you hoping for the next sponsor?
Pampers.
Oh, yeah. Can we work on some baby-related sponsors for the next go around for additional sponsors and reads like Kristen?
Actually, we had a diaper party for her dad, and we someone actually did buy them for him too. But so we have a giant stack of boxes currently. So very, very blessed.
Blessed and highly favored, which brings us back to the show in 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show. I'm here with Kristen Elanius, expert in all things, and Damian Dunn. All right, so the email this week was, should we move from Alabama to the Midwest for a 40% salary increase and bring my in-laws with us because they're a big part of our family, and financially it gets weird because the Midwest is more expensive than Alabama, especially property taxes. That's the reset. Kristen, can we pick a salary amount so we can ground this in some reality? What do you want to say my man's making in Alabama? Your choice.
Do we think that he's making an average wage for the nation and that's why this is hard? Or do we think they're making a livable wage for a low cost of living area?
That's an interesting question because I simply just thought, okay, let's say he's making $100,000.
That's exactly what I thought.
Oh, my bad.
But that might be, that may not be the thing, right? Should we go lower? I'm respect. I just don't want to I don't want people to get distracted by that.
Well, I mean, 100 is easy math, right? Not for me, but for others. So maybe that's just the way to go.
All right. So Dame, thoughts? You were about to.
Average household income in Alabama is $62,000. So we either go there or we go with the
We shouldn't go there, should we?
62.
Let's do this. Let's do 80.
Okay.
Take home pay in Alabama on an $80,000 salary is where we're going to start. Okay. Take home pay in Alabama for $80K salary is, and then we're going to do a 40% increase when we move to Illinois. It looks like it is basically $5,400 per month. Okay. $5,400 per month. Are you good with that?
Sure.
So 40% increase is basically 2160 increase. So $7,560 more. Okay. So yeah, $2,160 more per month. Are we good?
Yeah. Just call it $7,500 to be easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's be easy. 54 to 7,500. So that's what we're grounded in.
Okay.
Will the cost of pretty much everything be more in the Midwest than what we think it to be in Alabama based on what our emailer is saying?
I mean, outside of the property tax and the home cost, do we think that, I don't think that across the board we can expect significant changes in cost. Do you too?
I kind of think so. If the average wage in this state is lower than the average wage in whatever state they're going to go to, theoretically, then you have to think the cost of living, especially with property taxes that are almost 5x, right? You have to think cost of living is going to be higher.
I agree. I would assume. I mean, it's not. Is it going to be drastically more expensive? No, I don't think so. But I think it's not unreasonable to feel like they're going to be paying a little bit more every day of their lives in the Midwest.
Isn't part of this, and maybe you have all gotten here already, isn't it? Don't you just take the in-laws completely out of the equation, make a decision, then add them back in and make a second decision?
Well, if we do that, there's an answer.
Okay, well, let's dance.
I mean, if they take the in-laws out of the equation, we actually used this as a case study for our team at Your Money Line this week. And if we take the in-laws out of the equation, I don't think that, it doesn't sound like they can objectively afford to move. I mean, it sounds to me like moving is maybe slightly or entirely contingent on the in-laws being able to be there as well, or it's a net neutral. And to me, then why are we moving?
I mean, Dame, a 40% pay increase can tempt even the most comfortable, grounded person in the world.
Yes, 100%.
40%, Dame. I literally just said 40%.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Very tempting.
Yes, indeed. Let's take non-financial factors into consideration. The ones that you sometimes don't want to think about when you hear 40% in pay increase. Support system, adult friends, children friends, but friends for the children, not you're an adult friends with children, not a factor in this one. Network. Sometimes, Dame, I like to think I don't ever want to move from where I'm at because I feel like if I need to get something accomplished that's difficult in the community I live in, I have the network of people to know who to go to get it done. If you're a stranger in a strange land, that is a tough one. You don't know what to do and who to call, right?
Yeah, making that move to not just across the state to where you may have to feel like you're starting over a little bit, but across the country. That's a challenging situation. You've got taking your kids away from their support system, new schools, new networking groups for yourself, maybe a new church if you're big in the church, and that's a big support system for yourself. You've got family that's going to take care of your aging in-laws as well. Hopefully, help out with taking care of the aging in-laws. Although I think Hercules said that his wife takes care of a lot of the things for them as well, but. there is a not insignificant cost that could be ascribed to all of those things that come with making a significant move to a different location.
Yeah, Kristen on the live stream here, regular contributor Jen notes, it's taken almost a decade for me to build a new network, sounding like she's moved communities. That's not trivial.
No.
That's a big stinking deal. 10 years.
Yeah,
That could
that's
be-
really, especially with like the ages of their children too. So it's like, are we building this network until our children are like ready to leave the nest? And then it's like, well, what happens if they disperse and then it's us and the in-laws left? Maybe they go other places. And then the other thing that comes into consideration here is, yeah, the wife helps the in-laws a lot right now, but what happens when the in-laws need more help and we've isolated from the rest of the larger family unit?
And we've talked about this being a one of the most difficult periods of time for adults, having kids at home that you're taking care of, and then also starting to take care of your parents as well. Removing yourself from that network could be, I mean, I don't want to think about the alterations that would have to happen in mine and Mrs. Advice's life if we were to make try and take on a move such as this. It'd be really, really challenging.
I live 2 miles from my parents, and with reason, right?
Yeah.
What? Oh, this is a wild question, right? Because it starts as, is it weird to combine finances with your in-laws?
Mhm.
And then what it really gets to is a 40% pay increase into an area that is a lot more expensive. Will it actually net a higher savings rate? And it's actually not even a higher savings rate. In this case, it's actually a higher savings dollar amount. I mean, it's not about rate because the rate is moving up 40%. I think it's actually, in the end, how much more will you be putting in your 401k with that 40% increase? How much more in savings will you be able to generate? I think that's it. But then the question becomes, it actually gets better if my in-laws are chipping in on the housing expenses. That's where you get your delta. Where do we go from here, Kristen? After the break, what are we doing?
Should they do it?
Oh, yeah.
Just answer the question.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know we had to answer people's questions. I thought we just made jokes. Okay, well, fair enough. For the first time ever in show history, we will answer a question after the break, right here on the Pete the Planner show. Are we already to the third segment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy Moses. Do you guys know what you think the answer is here? Okay, you just, I don't know. There's like a black object in front of you that projects sound, and both of you just nodded your heads in different directions.
Yes, I do. I have like a response based on 2 primary factors.
Okay. I've yet to decide.
Yeah.
I think, and we can't talk too much about it off the air, the radio, because of the hundreds of listeners. If they took like some of the utility costs, like their in-laws are going to completely eliminate some utility expenses that can be shared. And so that's a few $100 a month, theoretically.
Have you settled on them paying rent?
No, I know. In fact, I don't.
And
I think that's where it gets unfair.
And their property taxes and home maintenance, like the elimination of having their own home does come with not an insignificant decrease in expenses, probably.
But then
especially if the wife is already contributing, like potentially, do they mow their lawn? Do they do their grocery shopping? Like we don't know what that means.
Yeah, this is interesting, but I don't mind. Okay, so In-laws would have eliminated their property taxes and their utilities and their homeowners insurance. Those are the ones we can definitely count on.
Sure.
Let's make up a number. Let's call it $600 a month. Whatever. What's it? Does it matter?
Sure.
600. Okay, so I get down with that. Like I get down that those are things that is net positive to the in-laws. But to have it represented in the form of a rent payment feels like it, I don't know, maybe it's just the word rent that's throwing me off. It's almost like a cost share, which isn't exactly rent.
True.
Because $600 makes things easier.
Yeah, glad we didn't talk about this too much off the air.
Oh,
That's Kristen's third ope for the day. You guys remember at the beginning of the show, I don't know if I said it on or off the air. I was like, my phone feels like it's going to buzz this entire episode, so I'm going to move it.
Yeah.
I didn't move it far enough away. It's been going off.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening.
What?
Also,
I don't want to look, though.
oats
You've
are
been
just
engaged.
preparing him.
Dan, what are you doing this weekend?
That's a great question. I don't know if there's anything on the Dunn family calendar other than just enjoying the last weekend before school starts for the kids.
Wow.
Kristen, I assume you're doing some home project. I mean, I didn't mean that in the tone that it came out.
Yeah, moving cattle, mowing up. Moving. I won't be moving the cattle, and then mowing path because the fence posts are coming this week. So,
did you put any more thought to riding a donkey into a manger for your birth scene?
I'm not doing that. But the answer is no, I didn't put any more thought into it because I was pretty firm in where I landed before.
Did you even run it by your partner, who is also a major part of the birth?
I told him that you guys mentioned it, but I didn't make it seem like he had a choice.
And his perspective was?
I don't recall. You guys can ask him after the show.
You should ask him. I want to know what he thinks. All right. Well, you guys want to keep going?
Yes.
Weird time to bail. So let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show. So here's what's happened so far if you've missed it. If you just ran into Home Depot to get yourself some water softener salt, here's what you've missed. You've missed when it was $4 a bag is what you've missed. All right. So here's what's happened. We got an email from a person in Alabama. And the capital of Alabama, Kristen, is
Montgomery?
Dame.
I believe she's correct.
No one knows. And then this person got a job offer to move to the Midwest for a 40% increase. But here's the rub. The in-laws of the emailer's wife live in Alabama, and it's a massive part of their support system, vice versa, both ways, right? A little Dutch door, both ways. And so should they move with? And if they move with, what's the financial arrangement there, given that the wife also has 2 siblings that need to be thought of in this financial arrangement when it's all said and done? Dame, are we caught up?
I think you've done a very nice job summarizing the happenings thus far.
Kristen, how good is your memory when you're watching a show or a series on Netflix? Do you click past the recap or do you watch the recap?
That's a really great question. Normally I skip it, but here of late, my brain's not so good. So I do watch. I do tend to watch the recaps.
Well, I feel like I know what Dame's going to say as 47-year-old men. Dame, what do you do?
Skip it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a must at my house.
No.
Oh, I have to know. I can't remember anything.
I have to know. You do know.
I don't. I forget.
Then what's the point of watching?
Pleasure.
True.
Okay, so during the break, Kristen went on and on and on about the math of this thing. What?
That's rude.
Did you not?
I didn't.
I did. We said, okay, let's say the in-laws are going to be a net positive of $600 a month in the form of they don't have to pay property taxes, homeowners insurance, and utilities. We just had to pick a number. That's what we picked. Kristen, is this a reasonable way to math into this?
It is without us knowing all of the details. I think it's good enough with what we're dealing with right now.
So, are there any other economic advantages or disadvantages to the in-laws other than that, and theoretically freeing up the equity in their home that then would become a more liquid asset? I feel like those are both things.
But does that get us to, do you think they should do this or not?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Dame, is there any other advantages or disadvantages?
I mean, if we're figuring $600 a month, and we know there's going to be a $6,000 delta in property tax alone, I mean, that's $100 a month difference between the property tax and what the parents are contributing just to try and cover the other costs that they're going to bring to the household. So, I mean, $600 ain't a bunch if you're trying to make this relatively cost neutral.
Fair. So, Kristen, should the emailer move to the Midwest away from the great state of Alabama and take their in-laws with them with consent?
Appreciate the end of that. Yeah.
I didn't mention that. I just wanted to add it on.
With the information I have right now, I'm inclined to say no.
Woo.
And the reason for that is twofold. Do you want my reasoning first, or do you
No,
two
yeah,
want
you got it. Go.
Okay.
You got it.
I just want to make sure that you guys aren't going to steal my reasons and
Oh, no.
change your mind. So the first is that I fear that this makes the estate planning conversation too complicated. Do you put the in-laws on the deed to the house, and then let's say they would need long-term care, maybe they spend down their assets, and then the state comes for the estate for those dollars? Or if they spend down the other funds, then are there siblings that don't get an inheritance, but then these siblings get to keep the money that's in this house? I mean, I'm not saying it can't be solved, right? Estate planning attorneys exist for this very reason, but I fear that the estate planning conversation gets really complicated really quickly.
It's so interesting that when you started giving your answer, mine came into full focus.
Oh.
Dame?
I am a no on the move as well. I think this is going to work out nearly as well monetarily for them. And what you're embarking on is a trip across country to start a new life. And it's might not be the Hallmark movie that you have envisioned in your mind. It's going to be more of a Stephen King novel than a Hallmark movie at this point in my mind.
This is for information purposes only. It's not the Swiss financial planning device. Consult a financial advisor.
I think they should move.
Oh,
I think that whatever is representative that we're calling $600, the in-laws should pay our emailer. I think they don't contribute to the down payment, and they don't blend assets beyond the net neutral amount between what their cost of home ownership was in Alabama as the in-laws to what it'll be in the Midwest. And that will keep a very clean estate plan that does not mix the two. I think they can get away with it with that idea. And it wasn't until Kristen said that the estate plan would be complicated if they moved that I realized that the solution, in my eyes, my opinions, is to simply solve that problem first by leaving the estate completely out of the scenario by just making a net neutral contribution of being a homeowner to the emailer. Kristen, why am I wrong? You have a designation.
I do. And one of our live listeners said that, quote, they're all adults. They should be able to talk about and come up with a solution, unquote. And while I don't disagree with that statement, what I know to be true in our work that we do every day is that people are not having enough money conversations with the people that they really have to be having money conversations with. Like, it's unlikely. Well, actually, you know what? This person's been listening to the podcast since the beginning, so maybe they are the exception to the rule. But in most households, spouses or partners aren't having enough money conversations. So to suggest that then we can like widen that net and have a really detailed, hard money conversation across generations in a multi-sibling dynamic, I don't know. It's hard, and it can get ugly really quickly, and it might be even worse as the needs of the parents increase financially.
Dame, I'm going to toss to you, but I just want to get this out in a transparent way. She says this gets ugly very quickly, and then I was going to toss to you, and I didn't want you to think about that, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have until now.
No, I don't want you to think that at all.
Don't think about a pink elephant. Thanks, Pete.
Okay, so what do you think?
I think this is a really tough ask, especially for the two other siblings of the wife, and the chances that any of it goes smoothly is pretty slim. But maybe even more concerningly, what if the other two siblings are like, great, get out of here, take them, let's go. I just move north. Yankees, new Yankees. That would be a bit concerning as well to me.
Does it change your answer if I'm putting it right? If I'm getting right in your face, getting in your face. Our eyelashes are touching, Dame. It's really close, and I'm saying, what would you personally do? Would your answer change?
I wouldn't move.
Kristen, I'm a little further away from you. But I'm in your face.
Margaret's in the way.
I'm definitely not that close. What would you do?
I wouldn't move.
Guys, I would do it.
What?
I think I would do it. But I would have an in-laws quarters, a separate outbuilding.
Okay. Have fun remodeling the house for all those senior needs.
I like to walk around the house with my socks off. I just need privacy. All right, coming up after the break. Biggest waste of money of the week and the news right here on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. I know I'm not often normal on this show. I'm feeling an extra bit of weird today.
Yeah.
Ian, sorry. I first, let me cut you off, Dame, as a good host shouldn't. Ian asked if it's my new wedding band that my wife got me that originally didn't fit, and I got a new one. It is. It does. What do they call it? Qalo? Qalo, Dame. How would a brother pronounce that?
It's a ring.
Yeah.
Silicone.
Mm-hmm.
Element 14.
Like what do you say?
Element 14.
You know the periodic number of silicone?
I think it's 14.
Wow.
Capital of Alabama, Montgomery. I know you Googled it.
It is.
Okay.
Dave, that's impressive. How many of those do you know? Can you quiz us?
I don't know any of them.
Group 14? Yeah, I was right. There it is.
Why do you know that?
It's a long story.
Do I want to hear it, or is it a dumb story?
I feel like it leans dumb.
I feel like
it's definitely a dumb story that I will consider telling you guys off the air.
You'll consider telling us off the air. Thank you.
How many, just really, I don't want to know the story. How many others do you think you know?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. So this is just a total
It's
shot in the dark.
specific for the story that went along with it.
Okay.
So it's like when I knew Apple's price earnings ratio randomly asked on national television.
Yeah, if you would ask me what the periodic number was of gold, I wouldn't have had any clue.
Kristen, you were not here last week, right? You were on a European. Where were you last week?
I was preparing for the baby shower.
Okay, so great.
I would have got hydrogen, just so we're all saying. That's number one.
On the show last week, I started by saying I don't mind being wrong because I'm often wrong.
Right.
But I don't like being accused of being wrong or have to admit when I'm wrong when I'm not wrong. And so I was talking about how the unemployment numbers and the jobs numbers got retroactively changed. And then after the show, Dave, the head of Bureau of Labor Statistics got axed. Which seems, in my opinion, like a horrible idea. My opinion. And so then finally this week, I got to go back on the news and I got to do a little victory lap and see, I told you I wasn't wrong. And it didn't feel that good because what I was saying is, I told you there were 250,000 less jobs for Americans out there. Ha ha. And then I was like, oh. But I was right.
Did the person interviewing you ask you that, or did you have to like find a way to insert? By the way, I was right all along.
That's a really informed question from someone who knows me. I may have slipped it in. You know, like if you think about a debate prep situation, you're in a debate and the question's like, what do you think about cheese? And you're like, taxes are the problem. Like, so I was going to answer what I wanted to answer no matter what the question was.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, you want to keep going?
I'm busy staring at the periodic table now just to get a refresh of where everything sits at it. So,
Dame, I have. So, I mean, one, the fact that silicone is the one is in itself, there could be a lot of stories there. I don't know what molds you have at your house and what you're pouring. But I have a theory that I will share with you off the air.
okay.
I mean, legitimately, I have a theory. Okay. I want to see if I'm right.
Okay.
Let's do the show. The rest of the show. Okay. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week right here on the Pete the Planner show is the Astle & Kern by 64 Audio X10 earphones. Astle & Kern is best known for its high-resolution portable audio players. They've now made a set of in-ear monitors that go along with them. Developed with 64 audio, the XIO eliminates I believe that's X10, eliminates the traditional sound tube, instead adopting tubeless in-ear audio technology for more realism and space. In total, the earphones have 10 high-performance drivers with a 4-way passive crossover to channel frequencies to the correct speaker and an air pressure exchange venting system to release pressure while maintaining that coveted isolation. They connect with a 4-core cross-braided silver-plated cable. I feel like Ric Flair. I feel like Ric Flair. They connect with a 4-core cross-braided silver-plated copper cable for minimal signal loss. Woo! All right, Kristen.
Yes.
I know you probably have some earbuds of some sort, some whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think this costs?
Well, I mean, if this is a waste of money, these have to be more expensive than regular headphones, which are already too expensive, in my opinion. So these are $650.
All right. The Cadillac driving, whiskey drinking. Damian Dunn, what do you think?
I was going to say 500, but now Kristen's guess has me a little concerned.
Well, do something with that concern and pick a different number. The show is ticking away.
500. I'm doing 500.
You're doing 500.
Yeah.
3,000 American dollars. Dame, what's in the news this week?
Before we get to the news, I would just like to say that Mrs. Advice has already sent me a text calling me out saying for a 40% increase in income, I would definitely move across the country with her and her parents. She has no doubt that I would do that. So apparently there's some discussions to be had.
Well, I just want you to know what I heard when you answered that question was you wouldn't do that for your family.
The income would be President Trump signed 2 executive orders that could change the way we save and bank. First, he's telling regulators to make it easier for 401k plans to invest in things you normally don't get in a retirement account, like private equity and real estate and even cryptocurrency. Right now, nothing in the law stops employers from adding these options, but most avoid it because they have a fiduciary duty to protect the investor and their money. And these assets can come with high fees and less transparency and more volatility. Big investment companies have been leading the cheers for this executive order because, well, they've been eyeing that retirement money for years. Americans have about $12.5 trillion stashed away in retirement plans for that purpose specifically. But critics are quick to remind us that these investments are pricey, tough to sell, and a lot riskier for regular savers. The second order takes aim at debanking when banks close accounts over political or religious beliefs. Trump says it happened to him after his first term, but the new rule would stop banks from using, quote, reputational risk as an excuse to drop customers. Fans call it a win for choice. Skeptics say it's opening the door to more risk and more politics in your money. If we ignore the second order, Pete, and just talk about the first one, where private equity, real estate, and cryptocurrency is now available in 401ks, we could probably do an entire segment on that alone.
I read the headline this week, and I think I said a word out loud. I don't care to share it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are wrong with this, but the one that sticks out the most is just there's a pretty interesting rule or regulation that exists in the financial world, and it's around accredited investors, which, Dame, I don't know the modern definition, but it used to be a $250,000 annual income or a net worth or $1 million of investable assets. Is that right? Still,
last time I checked, it was. I don't know if they've upped those or not, but that's what it was when I learned it.
For what it's worth, there's a song called "Last Time That I Checked" by Nipsey Hussle that I like to listen to. Anyway, Kristen, I think that's a really good regulation. I think it's an amazing regulation that you have to take someone that has a level of financial stability before you let them take what most people would call a speculative risk. And so that, in the most academic way, that's why I think cryptocurrencies and PE investments within retirement funds is a terrible idea.
I don't disagree with that. I think the thing that I personally struggle with a little bit, if I put on like my Damian Dunn hat, is that, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe Dame doesn't feel this way, but it feels like a take he might have, which is that, like, telling me what I can and can't invest in is kind of a rub for me, or like telling people what they can and can't invest in. Having that level of regulation is a little tough, but I understand why it exists because of the field that we're in. And so that one's a little difficult for me as a practitioner. I'm going, this is a terrible idea. Do not do this.
At the risk of this thing going off the rails.
Oh, no.
Is that the "don't tread on me" defense?
I don't know.
I mean, I hear you, and I'm not actually disagreeing with you. I'm just more of like, is that the thinking with, I'd rather not have regulation tell me what I can and can't do? Because then I get the straw man argument of seatbelts, or
right.
I get in that idea.
I'm not saying it shouldn't apply here. And as financial experts, the three of us understand why these two of us understand why these rules are in place, but it's challenging for the everyman, so to speak, of why don't I have this access?
Dame?
I'm going to read this next story because I think it's an interesting spin on a perspective on a story that's pretty popular in the news right now. And we'll talk about, is it accurate afterward the fact? And thankfully, we have an expert here to shed light on it. Or
Dame punts. What's the story?
President Trump's big, beautiful bill is making major changes to the standard repayment plan for federal student loans, and for some borrowers, it could mean paying for a lot longer. Right now, the standard plan is simple: fixed payments over 10 years. Under the new version, repayment terms will stretch anywhere from 10 to 25 years, depending on how much you owe. For example, a borrower with $100,000 in loans would now be on a 25-year repayment plan, paying nearly $50,000 more in interest compared to today's system, assuming a 5% interest rate. Supporters say it could lower monthly bills for some, but critics warn it will keep people in debt well into retirement. Starting in 2026, new borrowers will have only two repayment options: this longer standard repayment plan or the income-driven repayment assistance plan. I'd like to call Kristen Elanius to the stand.
Yes. Damian, you said that it was $100,000?
That's what it says. 100,000 in loans would now be on the 25-year plan. I don't think that's correct.
So here's the thing about that is whether that dollar number that's being reported is correct or not, it's actually not really a change from what was already an option, because follow me here, your undergraduate loan limits are somewhere in the high 50 to 60 range. Historically, it usually increases a little bit every year. And then if you have more debt than that, it comes in the form of grad plus loans, or you took out for more loans for additional education. You could have consolidated those loans and got on a longer standard repayment plan before anyway. So maybe it's one less hoop to jump through, but that option has technically existed for some time.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's nothing that says somebody can't aggressively pay off the standard repayment plan if they've got extra cash and save some of that interest, correct?
That is true, but also we would make the argument that 40-year mortgages are a bad idea for the same reason. So
Sure. The one thing we hear always is student loan payments too high, and this is an option to try and stretch that out, make it more affordable, but you can pay it off faster if you want to.
Exactly.
I just had the moment that most people have where you two are conversing and the show gets a lot better. I'm just sitting here. It was surreal. I was happy. I was like, oh, I get it. I should stop talking. Speaking of, I'm done for another 167 hours. Sending you good vibes, because good vibes are all that's in the budget. This has been the Kristen and Dame show. I mean, really, I was like, oh, people, maybe it is a financial show. I got talking.
Only in like 60 to 90 second stretches.
I'll take it. I like it. Yeah, Kristen, I was both poking, not in a cynical way, with my don't tread on me point, because it's like a homeowners association argument too, right? Which is a fair argument. It's my house. Like, are you telling me I can't put a flagpole in the yard or whatever? Maybe a bad example, but
chose to live where there's an HOA.
It's a metaphor. It's not.
Okay, sorry.
But I mean, okay, well, actually that works, because then you chose to
abide by the.
Yeah, like you said, you would abide by these rules. Whereas, like, if someone has a 401k, they just have to play by the rules that are set on what is the most widely available vehicle for savings for the everyman.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Dan, do you think they should be allowed?
HOAs?
No. Alternative investments and retirement plans.
It's if they could have some kind of controls over them, saying that they can't make up or constitute more than X percentage of your portfolio, I think I would have less of an issue with it. But my concern is that people go in and abuse some of the investments that might be available, and they don't have a well diversified portfolio, which you could argue that they already could do that now with some of the investment options in there, but even then it's still a little bit more diversified. So I don't think I'm quite as against this if they were to take some precautions on usage.
It is really an interesting conversation that probably is not this show, but it goes back to what was the New York City like soda ban.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like a lot of regulation for something that people can either say, yeah, I'm good, I'm not going to have one, or yeah, I'd like to buy that with my monies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the tough thing for the everyman in that situation is like, why is an accredited investor allowed to potentially take more risk and like the rich get richer? I think that's where a lot of people would make. I'm not saying I'm making that argument, but I can see that being a primary argument too.
I buy that argument, actually. I think that's a really good argument. I was thinking this week, how much a person's view of the economy is impacted by the day-to-day versus if they have exposure to the equity markets, right? Like, let's say the day-to-day, I'm making, this is a total hypothetical, honestly. Let's say day-to-day, everyone's taking it on the chin right now. Inflation sucks, whatever. Like, you could say this is last year or whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's say it sucks for everybody. But the people with a stake in the equity markets, they're rising. And so they are benefiting in spite of a failing economy. And those that don't have exposure to the equity markets because of a lot of different reasons are just dealing with the bad economy. I think this is a similar thing. It's like a rich get richer sort of idea there. I don't know. I was just thinking about it this week because I was thinking about various economic policy, and then I looked at, quite frankly, investment returns here recently, and I was like, yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, you know what we accomplished today?
We answered a question.
We did answer a question, and we also identified the vacuum seal sound at 521. It is the fault of the Rodecaster Pro 2 audio mixer.
It's a great mixer too.
It is.
You think they'll sponsor the show?
Not until we're done with Herculean. All right, everybody. Rick Swink, congrats on getting the Weevils out. Good job. Everyone else, stay getting the money. You know, the economy and the market are in a hairy place these days. It's up a lot, it's down a lot, it's sideways, and it seems on the hour. There's breaking news coming out of all areas of the country. How do you get your head around that? How do you not go crazy in the process? I'm Peter Dunn. You may know me as Pete the Planner, IBJ columnist, and my job for years has been to help you understand your financial life better in context with everything else going on. So what am I encouraging you to do? Well, listen to the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, it's a podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, or simply listen at ibjpodcasts.com.